8 years of armed conflict, violence and misfortune. 8 years of attempts on life and property, street fighting, bombardment and death. All difficult to get used to. By the force of circumstances, one learns to live with them and ends up by rubbing shoulders with them daily, almost unconsciously. Iron, fire and blood hail down on the martyred Lebanon in ruins. Through slow reconstruction by the inhabitants themselves, the country is today starting to get out of its torment. It comes out of it battered, ruined and bloody, but full of hope and faith in a future which will certainly be better, even if the urgent need to survive has let the real problems pile up. To rebuild regions devastated by the war, to dispel the bitterness created by the events of the past 8 years, and to restore the spirit of active, peaceful effort, once the basis of prosperity. These are the priority objectives of a people engaged in the exalting task of raising a nation. Fraternity and unity. The example is there. In Lebanon itself, in its Red Cross society, which, with its deep faith, has always conscientiously done its humanitarian duty without discrimination and with the sole aim of saving a human life from whatever section of the community. The Red Cross stands firm behind its president, Mrs. Sandra Issa El-Khouri.
La neutralité de la Croix-Rouge s'est affirmée.
We typified Red Cross neutrality in the sense that we always worked in the true Red Cross spirit, without any discrimination as to ideology and religion. We quite simply went to all those who needed help. I believe that this neutrality, this true Red Cross spirit, has been the driving force behind all our action. This applies not only to the Central Committee, comprising people from all sections of the community and from all religions, but also to all Red Cross personnel, to all volunteers who have worked for the Red Cross.
Des personnes de tous les bords et de toutes les religions, mais aussi du côté de tout le personnel de la Croix-Rouge, de tous les volontaires qui ont travaillé à la Croix-Rouge.
By the force of circumstances, the Red Cross compelled recognition, if I may express it that way, through its humanitarian action, and everybody finally realized that within the limits of its possibility, it was there for all.
Dans la mesure de ses moyens.
Effective and discreet throughout the country, the First Aid Section, with its 565 volunteers directed by Guy Malamé, has always been the first to help those in need. From the center to which we are assigned, we had to intervene first in Beirut, then in the south, then in the mountains, and we are still on standby in the north and in the Bekaa. In 3 months, we had to evacuate more than 12,000 wounded and sick people to whom we gave care. From our 22 centers, we made more than 6,000 sorties, to be exact, 6,204 up to today. Above all, volunteer first aiders are on round-the-clock duty in these centers. Of course, we have projects which we count on implementing quickly in the short term. The primary aim is to improve the technical level, to re-equip those sectors which suffered most during the war, and supplement the training of our officers and leaders. We have engaged qualified personnel specializing in instruction and emergency medical techniques. We have experts in administration, inventory control, and so on. We hope that we shall achieve a prompt reorganization so that we can intervene in all those regions which we've not covered so far. The gift of blood is virtually as old as the Lebanese Red Cross itself. In 1945, when the society was founded, The first appeal was launched to the citizens following the Makassed fire with its many victims. During the whole war, it was again through the Red Cross, and thanks to its repeated appeals to all citizens, that the distribution of blood to hospitals could be ensured. And it was again the Red Cross which, at the request of the Ministry of Health, undertook an anti-polio vaccination campaign throughout the country. From the very outset, the Lebanese Red Cross has always been interested in the physically, mentally, and socially handicapped. Unfortunately, Lebanon now has proportionately the largest number of physically handicapped in the world, directly due to the conflict. With regard to the mentally handicapped, who since 1975 did not figure on the priority lists, no less than 400 cases were indexed in the region of Baalbek and Hermel, including 6 handicapped children out of 10 in one and the same family. On the morrow of the war, the Lebanese Red Cross has a new challenge: to be present in all circumstances and in all places, to be available round the clock. A new adventure. Exalting, as a whole future still has to be built. Its objectives are ambitious, but reasonable. But it cannot attain them on its own. It remains, however, confident that in this long march towards the future, it will never be alone.